What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for tuning into my channel today. As you can see, we're not in the garage today. We're actually in my kitchen, or well, rather my dining room. We're going to be building a wiring harness in today's video. So we're going to go through all the materials that I've gathered to build a pretty cool wiring harness. I'm also going to show you at the end of this video what they're going to be powering. So let's get into it. So a couple of quick updates before we get started. This is the first video I'm filming on my new Canon G7X camera. So let me know in the comments below if you like this camera. I really like the test footage I got, so hopefully I can bring some better quality video to you guys. The other update is that my apologies for not making a video in so long. I know it's been a minute since I've been on the channel. I actually did check my subscriber count, so I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I think we're up to like 460 now, which is awesome. So if you're watching this now and you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button and hit the notifications bell. Like this video, I would appreciate it a lot. So first things first is, why are we building a wiring harness for my truck? The S2 lights from Baja Designs does come with a wiring harness, which is a very well made harness. A couple of the reasons why we are making a harness today in today's video is because the harness that they provide is not long enough for where I'm going to be mounting the lights. We're going to be using these style connectors, which are called Deutsch connectors. They are super awesome. I actually use them at my job. Pretty much every connector on our forklifts that I service use these Deutsch style connectors. They're really great. They have a solid fit. So one of the big reasons I wanted to go with the Deutsch style connectors is also just for the terminal pins, and they just have a very positive engagement when they do slide together. So that's just going to be that much better and more efficient for the electricity to pass through to our lights. And next up, I'm going to show you the S2 lights that we're going to be running. One of them is the work scene light from Baja Designs, like I said. These are just the S2 Sports. I didn't feel the need to get the Pros, both for the cost and the light output. This is a work light. It doesn't need to be shining bright enough to land a plane. And the second light, I actually already have it mounted in the bracket that we're also going to get to in another video, which is from Evil Manufacturing. And here's the bracket, and here's our light. I already mounted it up for the test fit. This is a S2 Sport as well, with the flood spot combo that I'm going to be using it more as like a chase dust light. And with all that being said, let's get to work. So first things first is, when I do a wiring harness, I like to do a wiring diagram. So if you see this crude wiring diagram I made here, we do have our power source, which is a 12-volt battery. We have what I'm using to control as well as to fuse my lights here, which is the Switch Pros 9100. You can go back to my channel and check out the video on how we installed that and why that is really awesome. And then we have the colors that I'm going to use for my wires, and these are to represent the connectors. Pardon my drawing, it's rather horrible. And of course we have our S2 lights right here. The wire that I got is just some 16 gauge wire. I got it off of Amazon. It's fairly priced. It's a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different rolls. I think they're all 50 feet. I also picked up this from Amazon. This is a, how long was it? This is 25 feet of expandable braided wire loom. I like it a little bit better than the plastic one. It also should be easier to install. As far as building the harness, just slide it onto the end. A couple of tools you'll need with the Deutsch connectors is actually going to be these. These are a Deutsch style terminal pin crimper. Definitely a lot different than your regular crimper, because inside there you go. Now you can see how it pinches all four sides, which is what you want. So other than that, I got some wire strippers from Blue Point. They're awesome. And then just a set of Dorman heat shrink tubes to help stick on my wire loom. I also forgot to mention that all the Deutsch connectors, the pins, as well as the little orange keepers here, which I will show you how those go in later. I got all of those from wirecare.com. I've seen it recommended by Mike Finnegan on Finnegan's Garage and a couple other places, so obviously I wanted to try it. The great part about Deutsch connectors is that they are rebuildable, meaning that we can take this apart, which is going to make wiring my truck very easy in whatever that you might be putting it. Because a lot of times when you have these big connectors that come on the harnesses, they're kind of a pain in the butt. And yeah, you can take these apart, but I've tried that before, and unfortunately they are a little bit difficult to put back together. Whereas with the Deutsch connector, all you really need is a pair of needle nose pliers, sometimes a pick, and a pocket screwdriver, and it makes these super easy. to service, replace, and or in my case, possibly eventually take it apart to reuse the lights and or this entire lighting system on a different truck later on. So enough talking, let's get to work, and I'm gonna show you how to do a wiring harness. Alright, so off camera I got it cut out to the correct length, which is going to be roughly somewhere between, I think we measured 13 feet from the third brake light, which is where these are going, all the way to the switch pros. I gave myself about 2 to 3 feet extra on the other end, but I did also slide the braid on. As you can see, it does get a little wild, so I'm going to try and do that a little bit better on the second one. I got my heat shrink tube here, and I'm going to show you guys how to. So I grabbed 2 pieces just because I wanted to kind of help secure it really well. Give a little bit of room just so I could see which one's which. Overlay this back one on top of the first one. So we have one solid piece. I unfortunately don't have longer pieces of heat shrink tubing, so if you have longer pieces, it'll probably end up a little bit cleaner than this, but yeah, I think this is gonna work out just fine. So I learned at work, if you have the MAP gas burner, that's actually a little bit too hot for these, and it'll actually tend to burn them. So if you're a smoker, if you just have access to just a regular lighter, that works best for the heat shrink tube. So let's go ahead and get it shrunk up. Alright, so now that we have this one harness done, as you can see, we got it in the sheathing. Got our heat shrink tubes on either end to hold the sheath, and we got some of the excess wire just in case, and we're gonna move on to the next one, so let's get to that. And of course my camera battery died. So thanks for watching my video, guys. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and tune in for the next video. We'll see you next time. I forgot to hit the right button.